And we're live. We're doing makeup readings because we got a lot of readings actually from yesterday that we need to do. So we got quite a few. So let's go to the first and not waste any time. Where's my thing? All right. So Anne wants to, if I could select it, that'd be fantastic. If Anne wants to know, let's see. Anne wants to know. So I've been feeling anxious about certain people. Is that okay? Like, what's going on, kind of thing. So the former question is like, will I be all right? Will I be okay? And of course you're going to be okay because we're using the grape juice edition over here, making the grape juice happen with grape juicy juices. Well, that sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I've been feeling anxious about certain people. Let's see why you've been feeling anxious, and having the camera focus would be excellent too. We have the moon, a judgment, and the hanged. Wow. That is a lot. That is a lot of majors with that. So this is something that's going to be difficult for you to deal with long term, unless you just deal with it. In other words, you have to deal with it. This is something where you have anxiety. You have anxiety for a reason, and you need to kind of find out the root cause, right? Because the moon says this is more of an emotional thing than anything else. This is something that is caused by your emotions. So it's not like logically, I'm anxious about this person or that person. This is something where you really are being a little bit too emotional about stuff, as well as some of the anxiousness is sort of being in that unknown. Maybe I'm doing something I haven't done before. Maybe I'm walking into something outside of my comfort zone, and therefore, I have a little bit of anxiety that's going to be about that. Judgment says as well that new people will end up causing this. So you have to kind of watch yourself here when around new people or around some people that are going to be sort of anxious with that. So certain people cause anxiety, not others. So if you're around this particular type of person versus that particular type of person, you're going to have anxiety. Maybe you have anxiety around people of power, maybe, authority, a cop, I don't know, lawyer, judge, stuff like that. Or it could be certain categories of people. Maybe, I don't know, application developers could make you anxious, and firefighters make you perfectly calm. I have no idea. Well, the judgment says when you meet new people, having new people around, the more you can sort of ease yourself outside of your comfort zone, the better you off are you going to be in the long run, because being anxious around people is not really going to do you any good in the long run. So I think that's going to be something that happens as well. Hanged Man says don't view things from an emotional perspective, well, the moon, but don't view things from an overly analytical perspective. A person's a person. You say hello, introduce yourself, you have a good time, you hang out with them, and get to know them, right? So it's just somebody new. Should be an exciting adventure, should be somebody that you enjoy sort of getting to know and learning. Everybody has their own unique perspectives, and people are really cool. But yeah, the Hanged Man, to look at things from a unique perspective, an enjoyable perspective. I think that's going to be better for you in the long run. And with anything, if you are having a lot of anxiety, talking to a professional, whether that be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, does a lot of good, right? Because I ended up having to talk to a psychiatrist and get some psychiatric meds, and they have been doing me fantastic because, you going through the wild adventure of chemo, and you need a little help. You need a little help in there, because that, I'm saying. Anyway, but yeah, it's not a bad thing to talk to a professional. Maybe the professional can get you kind of where you need to go there. Anyway, all right, does R want to end this for good? We've been back and forth with R. Is this something that R just wants to conclude? Is this something where I'm just kind of at the end of my rope with this particular individual? It may be. Two of Cups. Jesus, no. This is not something they don't want to end it for good. Clearly you have sort of that aspect of this person wants to hang around. This person wants to be around. And, you just have this overwhelming, you do have a bit of an overwhelming kind of a thumbs down Thumbs down. For wanting to end it for good, I really don't think they do. This is pretty powerful. Two of Cups, just that uniting, that connection, that power that comes along with that. I think that they're ready to go with this. Ten of Pentacles, make a happy home, happy family. So, oh, and the Sun. Overall, clearly they have a different perspective on the relationship than you do. If you're asking that question, and this comes up for kind of their perspective, we have a vast disconnect between the two things. So we're going to go with a thumbs down on that one. It does not look like that they want to end it for good indeed. We got Big Cleo is next. Again, we actually have so many readings from last night that we had to make an overflow video. So yeah, we're going to have to make an overflow video. Never had to do that before. I guess we can do that. That's fun. It's fun. Anyway, I mean, it's kind of, I'm missing all the chat and the fun that we have, but hey, kind of sitting here by myself, talking to myself. Anyway, 307 module, will I get it? GPA 3.5. That looks like a no. That looks like a little bit of a thumbs down, kind of some harsh cards there. Now, I don't think it's a negative or a no for good kind of thing. I really kind of think the Tower says that this is something that needs to be handled carefully. It needs to be handled carefully because a lot of times we do get in a mode where we're just kind of casual about it, or we think we have it made. This could be something to where you do need to focus a lot more, right? Maybe the strength kind of points to that we have to sort of focus more. We have to have more patience. And we have to have more diligence. And, strength is taming the lion as well. This could be some very difficult material, or it could be a very difficult kind of approach that we got going on here. So it could be indeed something that is causing a problem at the end. But you definitely want to do the Tower card and not be too comfortable. We want to take it with a lot of extra study, a lot of additional work into this, because it does seem concerning that the reason I say that is because a lot of times you'll say GPA 4.0 or something like that. The fact that you've lowered this kind of tells me that maybe this is more of a difficult subject. Maybe this is something that you do need to sort of work into. You do need to sort of get moving on. But yeah, I'd definitely be concerned about this and put in that extra level of effort to make it happen. So I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say you have to tame the lion. Not one of those you're going to sail through. We have the Sun, the Lovers, the High Priestess. You just don't have those cards within this mix. So just kind of be aware that this could be a difficult subject or a difficult move for you, and treat it as such. And I think with that level of extra work, I think you're going to be all right. All right, we got Julie is next. How would R feel when he finds out that I moved on? Let's go to the Tarot Tower and get our favorite deck of all time. You know what it is, my friend. It is the Modern Love Tarot. It is the Modern Love Tarot. We all love, we love more. The Modern Love Tarot. So, hey, that's the way it goes. That's the way we move. That's the way we rock, and making it happen with that. All right. When they find out that you have moved on, what is happening here? What is going on? And I'll see if that's going to be something they're able to deal with. All right. Let's see. King of Cups. Oh, man, it's difficult for them to sign up for that. It is difficult for them to sign up. It's difficult for them to release as well, right? You have the Lovers cards. That's a powerful card over here. I put my love, I put my emotion into this relationship. I've really put the extra level of effort. I've really pushed the edge on this particular aspect with the Lovers. And yet, the Three of Swords, right? I just didn't get the results that I want. And I think that you are in that mode of, I didn't get the results that I wanted. And you are going to have to just kind of adjust to this. You're going to have to kind of, sort of peruse and move through this. But, tough luck, I guess. I mean, that's kind of the thing. So you can't really have a Three of Swords in here without getting that guttural feel of, yeah, this person's going to be upset. Clearly, they're going to be upset with this. Queen of Wands says the level of independence, the level of kind of, doing what you want to do without being micromanaged, without being controlled, is a huge bonus right here, right? Because the Queen of Wands is about that independence. And the fact that you have that now is excellent and is really going to give you the grounding, the surface, the foundation that you need in order to go on and make a success, to go on and make the best of your life here, right? As King of Cups says, they really weren't emotionally invested at the end there anyway. So this is something where it's best, right? It's best to get the Lovers and the Three of Swords. It's best to cut the tie and to just terminate that and move past that. Of course, they're going to be upset. You have the Three of Swords. It's difficult to ignore this visual here, which is pretty, obviously it's pretty profound here with the dead rose and the shattered glass. I mean, this is not a subtle card by any means. But yeah, they're going to be upset. And that's okay. At the end of the day, that's okay. Let them be upset. It's all about your level of independence. It's all about you having control. And it's all about you being happy at the end of the day. At least in my opinion. We got Wyatt is next. Yeah, we do have a lot of reading. We have a lot of readings. All right, Wyatt wants to know. I don't want to use this card for Wyatt. I want to use the This Might Hurt Tarot. This Might Hurt Tarot. You knew it was coming out eventually, and this is when it comes out. All right, let's get some This Might Hurt Tarot action in it and see what is going on. Kind of saying repairing, restoring a relationship, fixing, band-aiding a relationship. Kind of how can I do that, right? What's the process to kind of make that happen in here? Justice says that you do need to very much look at this person's perspective, all right? Because the Justice just kind of says we have a balance here, we have that back and forth there, and it's something that's important in the long run for this individual, for them to know that you're sort of balanced, you're looking at this perspective, and you're understanding their point. Because I think a lot of times people say things in a relationship and you don't really listen, you kind of like whatever. But when they say stuff, it's important. Otherwise, they wouldn't have said it. So even if what they're saying is ridiculous, there's a root cause to what they're saying, right? Because we could be arguing over who takes out the trash or something. And that could be this, the root cause of that could be they don't feel loved anymore. They don't feel like you want to contribute anymore. And it all boils down to something like, changing kitty litter, taking out the trash, whatever it is. And so you have to get to the root cause and find out what the underlying emotion. So Justice card says get to the root cause and let them know that you're willing to get the balance in there. Eight of Pentacles says you need to understand that they want you to work at getting the relationship repaired. Because a lot of people are just like, I want to restore this relationship. I want to make this relationship work and all this other stuff. But basically at this point, you need to let them know that you're willing to work at it. And that's the big thing, right? Because it takes two people to move the couch up the stairs when you're moving into the apartment, right? You can't move the couch by your damn self. You need two people. Couch is pretty easy to move when you got two people. It's pretty difficult when you're by yourself. So Eight of Pentacles says, hey, I'm willing to pick up the other end of the couch, move it up the stairs, and I'm willing to, contribute to this and make this happen. And I think that really says volumes, and people like to hear that. Nine of Swords at some point says you really can't control people. You really can't mend a relationship that can't be mended. If it gets to that point and you're just at that level of begging or what have you, rethink that. I mean, clearly, right? Rethink that. Nine of Swords says, hey, if it's broken, it's broken. Some things can't be fixed. You can't put the egg back together. So, you just got to get that Nine of Swords. A lot of times you just got to take the hit and move on. I'm not saying this is that particular case, but if you have identified that, hey, I've done everything, this don't look good, and it's time to move on, don't be scared to move on. All right. So KM wants to know, basically they're in a court case and the ex is just being a complete a-hole, you know? And that's why court cases exist. When we don't agree. And another side, I mean, I don't know. I guess when you get to the level of having something in court, you know, the gloves are off. So a lot of people kind of show their true colors, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, when you go to court, like you kind of start showing your true colors, right? Because you have the power now. The other person doesn't have as much power as you. So if you're just a horrific person, that's really going to shine through, right? It's really going to shine through there. In other words, I'm not willing to negotiate. I want to have this power. I'm not willing to do, you know, come to a middle ground, and I'm just an a-hole. Unfortunately, you know, you got to be in court to see that side of people. But, you know, as a general rule, if you're going to court, you know, don't be an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know, even if you're in the right, I don't know. That's just my opinion, but all right. X refused to sign. Judge advises to sign. X says no. Will I win? All right. So they're being a pain, and they've been a pain throughout the entire process. And this is not something that they're going to just magically change, right? Like tomorrow, they're not going to, I was a pain in the ass, you know, for the past 2 months. And today, though, I've found Jesus, and Jesus said to be nice. That's not going to happen. So number one thing to realize here is they've shown their true color. And again, you know, Jesus is not going to come down and spank him in the ass and say, you know, clean your act up. So they're going to continue to do this. So number one, don't be shocked by this anymore, right? Don't be shocked by this anymore. And I say that because you need this level of emotional peace. So if this is going to end up just giving you an ulcer kind of thing, you know, don't be surprised, don't be angry, because that's clearly what they're shooting for. That's clearly what they're trying to do. So don't fall for the bait, right? Just don't fall for it. All right, Three of Pentacles. I think that the court is going to see that the person's unreasonable because they've been unreasonable before. The judge is not an idiot. They're clearly seeing that this person's unreasonable. So I think they're going to be defaulting on your side. In my opinion, this is not legal advice. This is entertainment purposes only. I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV. But the Three of Pentacles is kind of a court case kind of thing. We don't have the Justice card, which would be perfect, right? We had Justice card at previous reading, but not this one. But that Three of Pentacles just says, hey, you know, the judge is going to kind of see on the elevated, that they're going to kind of see who's right and who's wrong. And the Page of Swords, because they are acting a level of immaturity, because they're producing that level of immaturity, it kind of makes them look really bad, right? It makes them look really bad that they're just going to be, you know, on this case where they're just not really communicating well. So the Page of Swords shows their immaturity level in their communication, their actions, right? Nine of Wands talks about you as the wounded warrior. And what you don't want to do, again, is have this give you an ulcer. They're going to be on their worst behavior. Go ahead and expect it, and don't let it bother you, right? That's why you hire lawyers. Let the lawyers deal with it. Don't be up there just giving yourself an ulcer off this thing. You know what I'm saying? Three of Cups says we do get to an agreement, but not before that they just try to make you miserable. And again, that's the purpose of what they're doing, is to give you an ulcer, try to make you miserable, and get a reaction. Let your lawyer deal with the BS. You have to sort of separate yourself emotionally from this and look at this from a legal perspective, a logical perspective. The more emotion, and if you go to like videos on YouTube about small claims court or how to act in court or what have you, you know, they kind of say, you know, the more emotional you are, the dumber you look, kind of thing. So just keep that away. I think you have a celebration of winning. I think that you have a happy home, happy family from this. And the King of Wands says that the effort that you're doing, the fiery aspect that you're pushing for, does result in a win. It does result in a win for you. Again, entertainment purposes only. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But let your lawyer handle everything. But my advice to you would be let the lawyer handle it. All right. But the biggest advice I would have is just be separated emotionally from this. Don't let them get under your skin, because that is what they're trying to do. Okay. And the more that they do that, the more you get worked up about it, the worse off you're going to be in the long run. So basically, let them make an idiot out of themselves. Let the judge preside over it. And from the tarot, it looks positive. It looks positive because of the wounded warrior celebrating, which is, the united Three of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles, happy home, happy family, which it is a, sort of a family case. And the King of Wands, the lawyer doing an excellent job getting up to the plate and hitting a home run for you. So from a tarot perspective, we have good cards. And the Page of Swords are emotional outbursts, they're smirks, they're dumb things in court. The judge has seen it all. And they're really not going to trust what this person's sort of pushing out, in my opinion. Of course, in my opinion. And those are the makeup readings that we have. Thank you very much for being a part of the stream. We will see you tonight.